Total Pro Sports presents the 15 worst unbreakable records in sports. They say records are made to be broken. There are a large number of teams and athletes that hold records that they really wish would get broken, because for the most part, they aren't really fun records to hold. Here are the 15 worst unbreakable records in history. Number 15, Lucky 27. Anthony Young was an MLB pitcher for 6 years, spending 3 seasons with the New York Mets in the early 1990s. Unfortunately, his career will be best remembered for a very sad statistic. He lost 27 straight decisions, breaking a record Cliff Curtis had over 80 years earlier. Number 14, 5 minutes for losing badly. You know how teams in hockey are handing out penalties in minutes form? Well, someone should have been penalized for this hockey game, simply for getting so out of hand. In January of 1943, the Detroit Red Wings and New York Rangers met in the Motor City. Needless to say, there was a huge celebration for the Wing faithful. That's because they romped the Rangers 15-0. No NHL team will ever be that mercilessly beaten again. Losing by 5 goals is usually an absolute embarrassment, but also an extreme rarity. Number 13, building a losing streak. The Buffalo Bills put their fans through major heartbreak, something you can't even write in a Hollywood script. The Bills played in the Super Bowl in 1990, 1991, 1992, and 1993. So what could possibly go wrong? A dynasty in the making? Wrong. The team lost all 4 of those Super Bowls. Given how it's incredibly difficult for anyone to repeat as NFC or AFC champions, it's impossible to think someone will lose 4 years in a row in the big game. Number 12, my name is George and I break records. I mean, at the end of the day, George Blanda did get to play in the NFL. Well, he was also a Hall of Famer with nearly 27,000 career passing yards. But in 1962 with the Houston Oilers, Blanda threw 42 interceptions in a season. Given how most NFL quarterbacks are on short leashes if they become turnover machines, it's hard to imagine this record being broken. Number 11, shark-infested record waters. The San Jose Sharks NHL team may have an intimidating name, but they were anything but that in the 1992-93 season. To be fair, they were a fairly new franchise, but still this record is sad. The Sharks hold the record for most losses in a season with 70-plus games played. They lost 71 games that year. Ouch. Number 10, 143 strikes, you're out. Atlanta Braves legend Bobby Cox managed the team for years, but it seemed like he got thrown out of every second game. To be exact, he was ejected 143 times in his career. Given how short of leashes MLB managers get these days, along with how some people didn't get as mad as he did, there's no way someone will break his record. Number 9, learn integers. Remember the tricky adding positives and subtracting negatives math you learned called integers? Well, former NHL defenseman Bob Stewart would probably rather forget about math. That's because he set a career plus-minus record of 260. Meaning he was on the ice 260 more times when the opponent scored than when his team did. Yikes. Number 8, flat tires. Former NASCAR racer J.D. McDuffie participated in 653 races throughout his 28-year career. Unfortunately, he didn't win a single one of them. That's right, 653 races and not one win. Tragically, he died during an accident in the 1991 Budweiser at the Glen. Number 7, knockout record. Former American boxer Reggie Strickland made it to the super middleweight level and was in 363 career fights. However, he set a record with 276 career losses. Strickland never had any successful runs in boxing, only one terrible record. Number 6, flyaway jets. It's safe to say that members of the 1980-81 Winnipeg Jets NHL team are thrilled that this team was revived in 2011 so that their awful history could be forgotten. After winning the 3rd game in their season, the Jets went on to play 30 straight winless games, which included losses and ties as shootouts weren't added at the time. Indeed, fans wanted to see those Jets fly away with new fuel. Number 5, stop doing the defense FAVRES. NFL legendary quarterback Brett Favre owned almost every meaningful passing record until Peyton Manning broke most of them from 2013 through 2015. One record Favre holds over him? Career interceptions with 336. To be fair, Favre's career did last 2 decades and he played great into his 40s, but that record won't be touched. For that to happen, a quarterback will have to throw an average of over 30 picks a season 11 times. No quarterback will ever be given that much patience by management. Number 4, you'll need a CARR to escape. Before anybody calls David Carr a major draft bust, remember that A, he still won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants in 2011, and B, his offensive line just sucked. The Houston Texans quarterback was sacked a ridiculous 76 times in 2002. Yes, 76 times. For what it's worth, between 2010 and 2015, Ryan Tannehill was sacked the most, 58 times in 2013. That record won't be broken. Number 3, King Georgia of blowouts. In 1916, the Georgia Tech Engineers squared off against the Cumberland Bulldogs. The game took place in Atlanta. What happened? Oh, the Engineers only beat the Bulldogs 222-0. Yes, 222-0. Luckily for Cumberland, sports weren't as big then as they are today, so it's somewhat forgotten by the common fan, but it was just unfair. Number 2, a long list of errors. Herman Long played 16 years in the majors and led the National League in home runs in 1900. However, the man, despite a solid career, will always be remembered for his 1,096 career errors. Only 3 other players have hit the milestone 1,000 errors mark. Today, MLB players need to have near-perfect defense to survive in the league. Because of that, this record will stand tall. Number 1, buck the trend. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers made their coach John McKay so mad because they were so bad. It was sad. Understand, lad? He told his team they didn't know the difference between footballs and a bunch of bananas. Why was that? Well, from 1976 through 77, they lost 26 straight games, until winning their last 2 games in 1977 to finish the season. For the record, the 2009 Detroit Lions won 2 games after going 0-16 the year before. So yeah, this record by the Bucs will stay forever in all likelihood. And that's it for the 15 worst unbreakable records in sports. But wait, we are not done with you yet. In the comments below, we want to know, who do you think was the worst player ever in any franchise in all of sports history? There are quite a few there, so have fun down in the comments. And for more cool videos, click subscribe.